I mean, there's like lots of. It's not so much one. Usually, when you ask someone about like um, entrepreneurship, I don't think there's like one like time when it was like horror. I mean, there are oftentimes like these few horrifying times. I think I told some of the stories out there, but mostly it's like these small things that are like just horrible, kind of like stressful, and then it's like the accumulation of them happening like every week. So I mean, one thing that happened I remember that was like really terrible is like to save money. Basically, we used to be, we were like a pretty big video streaming startup, right? We were like the one of the biggest live video sites out there as Justin TV, and it was like extremely expensive, right? Live video is expensive to do. And so we would put it on like Amazon and EC2, AWS, which is what most startups use now. But then I remember one time in 2007, the AWS team called us and was like, "You need to like turn down your bandwidth because it's like too much for us." I think they've probably solved that problem by now, but at the time we were like, "Oh, okay." Like so we started figuring out what we could actually use, and we were too expensive. We couldn't use a CDN because we didn't have enough money. And when we went out to raise money, everyone except for Tim Draper and a few others, were like, no, we don't want to invest in video. Video is a bad investment. And so during this time, all these video startups died. Like Rever, VO, all these US video startups, just like they couldn't raise any more money and they actually went out of business. But we survived, and we largely survived by like trying to be like a cockroach and spending as little money as possible. And to do that, we ended up building our own data centers, which actually turned out to be this good competitive advantage in the end, but at the time was just like this tremendous amount of work. Like I remember we moved from one data center to another, and the whole team contributed. We like went in vans that we rented to our data center to like unplug the server, took the site down, unplugged all the servers, put them in our vans, drove to this other place, assembled everything, and this was like now 12 hours in from like we started at like 11, and this was like, or maybe now it was like 8 in the morning, and then we pressed the button and like the site didn't work. Like people were like, my team was like, I remember some of our employees were like passed out on the floor. They were like so tired, exhausted, and we were just like, what do we do? And spend the next 5 hours in the data center. I don't know if you've ever been in a data center, but it's super dry in there, right? It's loud. It sounds like fans. It's like a stressful environment on our computers trying to bring the site back up. And it was like times like this. Like there was another time I remember the power, like one of our breakers shorted in the data center, and someone had to drive there. And it was 5 a.m. on Sunday morning. Everyone was drunk. Like there was no like I woke up to the emergency, like someone calling me, and I was like, I don't, who's gonna go there? Like I don't know. Like this, like eventually I think my co-founder Kyle got up. He lived in like the closest, and he actually got up and went. I called him, but he was still drunk too. So it was it was like very stressful constantly. There was like those aren't like horrific incidences, but like it was our site would go down all the time. People were on call like 24/7 for like two
Right.
years.